Films and television programming that inspire, educate, and exemplify the extraordinary power of the human spirit are being eclipsed by a fascination with the dark side of humanity. This insidious trend is seeping its way into the unsuspecting world of children's cartoons.
Nothing is wrong with your television. Do not attempt to change the channel. Your regularly scheduled program will not be seen because I am controlling the transmission. I control the horizontal. I control the vertical. And those buttons on your remote that don't seem to do anything? I know what they're for. From this moment on, your television belongs to me. Control freak. Guys?
In 1984, the FCC deregulated commercial children's television. Within 4 years, cartoons depicting human beings at war skyrocketed from 1.5 hours per week to 43 hours per week.
Over the years, children's programming has always had a level of violence, from Wile E. Coyote having the anvil dropped on his head back in the early days of cartoons. In this children's study that was in 2005, we found almost 3,500 instances of violence in fewer than 450 hours of programming during a 3-week span.
Come on, big man! Show me what you got! Show me what you got! Run for it, man!
No, think about it. I can help you destroy my uncle. It'll be so much fun.
There are an average of 4 violent acts per hour in adult primetime programming. Saturday morning cartoons, on the other hand, average 23 violent acts per hour. The Wolves in Sheep's Clothing study conducted by the Parents Television Council in 2005 found that the Cartoon Network had the highest number of violent incidents, with 1,330. The ABC Family Channel had an average of almost 11 violent incidents per episode, the highest of all the networks surveyed. And Warner Brothers' Teen Titan was found to be the most violent cartoon, with almost 22 incidents of violence per episode. According to the American Psychiatric Association, commercial television for children is 50 to 60 times more violent than primetime programming for adults.
It's very hard to raise a child in the world today without having any exposure to the media and television. So if they're being fed information that is highly violent, they're more likely to think and act in ways that are in accordance with what they're viewing.
At the Congressional Public Health Summit in 2000, 6 prominent medical groups all agreed that repeated exposure to media violence on television has a negative impact on children.
What happens inside a child when they're watching highly violent content is a progression. With a very young child, their first response would be fear, because they cannot separate what they're seeing from reality. So they would be afraid of what they're seeing. After a while, after they're told, oh, it's just a movie, oh, it's just a cartoon, oh, it's just play, it's not real, and they're told that over and over again, then the next level becomes a desensitization. So they stop feeling the fear and they start disconnecting from the emotion that they would feel, which would be fear and recoiling from that danger or that action.
See? His mother is not following. Look it. That's what happens to deers.
What?
They get killed.
Is that sad?
Mm-mm.
Scary?
Mm-mm. And I'm used to it because I watched it many times.
A child who becomes desensitized becomes disconnected from their essential self. I think that child that becomes desensitized is no longer feeling connected to their feelings. What does that mean? It means that when they can't identify their feelings, when they can't experience and express their feelings, they're operating totally cognitively. That means that they can't integrate the whole other side of them, the affective side. The next level that they go to, and this escalates, is that they start to enjoy it. They start to enjoy what they see, and as they enjoy it, they start to take sides, they start to root for one side or another. They have somebody who wants to win and somebody who wants to lose. And the next level beyond that is that they start to actually integrate within themselves the feelings of aggression and wanting to act out, not just view, but act out those feelings of violence and aggression that they see, because they then want to be the victor, the conqueror, the winner. And the more they see that problems are solved with violence and acting out and dominating the opposer, they start to incorporate these violent behaviors, because if they want to win, that's how they're going to do it. If you take baking soda and vinegar and you put them together and you shake it up, you can create an explosion. When you take a child who has been imprinted over time with many violent images, and they've been reinforced, and then that child encounters someone who is a bully. Okay, you have the violent images are the vinegar. You have the bullying behavior, which is the baking soda. In other words, you have the imprints of the violence, which creates a desensitization. You add to that the bullying behavior of someone who is torturing a child. And this child, who is not necessarily a violent child, reaches a breaking point. What do? They revert to the images in their brain that have been programmed and imprinted over time. And this child says inside themselves, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not a loser. I'm going to show them that I am someone and that I can stand up for myself. And what you end up with is the combustion called violence in the schools.
The average 8 to 18-year-old child in the U.S. spends 44 hours a week with some form of media. By the time this child enters middle school, he or she will have seen 8,000 murders and 100,000 acts of violence on television alone. And by the age of 18, this child will have witnessed on television 200,000 acts of violence, including 40,000 murders.
Television is a powerful tool. It's more powerful than we even know. Be careful what they're watching. Be concerned, be interested, because whatever they're seeing and whatever they're hearing is going right in, with no filter, to that little sponge who sits there, and that will imprint their life for the rest of their lives. So if you want to have a world in which people are kind, you expose them to kindness.